We are shy until we met ICEE, and she will break every brick of your wall just to pull you out of your. There
Of
you go.
course I would.
So,
That's
Good stuff.
That's
So,
well, that
of
was
course I would.
sorry to say, Icy, that's the most easiest part for me, Icy.
For one, I feel like it's because you're from when it's summer, it's really hot. I feel like a lot of country that lives in a tropical kind of like hot country,
Yep.
they become so chill.
that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
right.
one of the things that I actually miss about Philippines is because when you get out of your house, there's so many marites outside. There's
That
so many marites, which means there's a lot of people outside that does nothing. So you can have a nice chit chat conversation.
Nothing.
But
What the heck?
so basically, they're just gonna be outside. There's a lot of those, and it could be you could take it as
mm,
negative. You could take it as a positive meaning. Whether you like it or not. But at the same time, in Japan, no, like we're basically like if you know your neighbor, then you're a good person because you're trying to know your neighbor. But usually, it's like you don't. We don't, you know, care about each other here. Like sometimes that's why I couldn't shout when I want to shout. I couldn't sing as loud as I want to sing because we have to think of our neighbors. So
Where I live, Icy fit. Who cares? I say.
yes, yes.
Where I live, saying about where I live, I don't give a shit really.
Sometimes I would go into deeper conversation as
mm,
much as I want to because I'm just a person like that. Sometimes idiotic deeper conversation I could
yeah.
go. But I feel like if you go so deep, then you're gonna bore the viewers.
Yeah,
Because
no,
you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
read.
You're right,
Yeah.
Icy. Yeah, you're correct
And
there
I
with that.
think
Yeah.
yes. And when we talk about being yourself as a YouTuber, how do you kind of like balance that? Because I feel like there's a balance between I know some of the people that do YouTube is for hobby, right?
Hmm.
But at the same time,
Yep.
as much as you want to say it's a hobby, there's always going
Yep.
to be in the back of your head that I hope whatever I'm putting in here, I could get
Yep.
back. And for some people, the community is actually they get back. But let's be honest, sometimes it could take more time. Like doing YouTube is more than my personal work, my personal household chores. It's more time consuming.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I spent all yesterday going to the city to pick up a drone, so I can get footage for the channel. I spent
I did you have
today
fun
just
there?
trying to make an unboxing video, which I don't know, it'll probably be that boring. No one will watch it. But that's YouTube. We
Isn't
need
it funny? Because this is the sense of
I
belonging.
was
Like
now. I've been on
you
YouTube
don't have
since
to be a part of a
20.
community just because the
Yeah.
person is saying something that you think is right. It's more
mm,
of like the feeling, like, oh, these are
yeah,
my
yeah.
people, just like that. Like you spend hours and hours perfecting this
Yeah,
one
we're
shot
into a
edit.
community, but we're not. We're all communities are different as well. For me, like you
Yes.
go somewhere and we're all together, we know each other, but then you do go off a little bit and try somewhere else. That's what I've always been doing with me for YouTube. Yeah, and you want to see how that community might be like and all that. Yeah,
Mm,
we all pretty much know each other. Yeah, in some way.
I do feel that a lot of people, just because, and I'm not saying bad on anything. If you feel this is for you, you're wrong. Okay. But I'm
Yep.
just saying there are
Yep.
people out there that just because they're doing it as a hobby,
mm,
they don't think about the
Yep.
people that watching them. You know what I'm saying? Like people
oh,
spend
okay. Yeah,
Yep.
time
yeah,
watching you. So for me, at least that part, you have to be aware that if people are watching you, and for us small streamers, we're
yeah. Mm,
kind of like we can actually see the chat. It's not like the other like millions and thousands of viewers. It's like you can't even read anything anymore.
true.
And we can. It's like how
No,
can I
you can't
interact
do that.
on a channel when the host of the channel doesn't interact with me, and we're just five people in the chat? So it's like I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah, yeah.
understand,
Yeah, I
right?
mean that's where it's so important for us here up on the panel is the chat keeps chatting and keeps talking and keeps throwing
Yeah.
in questions up to the people in the panel or to each other in the chat. It's so
Yep. Yep.
valuable. The chat, a lot of people probably don't realize that, but it's an extremely
Yep.
important part of live stream is the good folk of you in the chat there. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, Tina. Yeah, but
Yep,
that's
yep,
what I
yep.
said. That's why I said
Like,
I'm not going to judge anyone's culture because I don't know it. You know, so and it's not my
well,
place
I
to.
do judge my own culture.
You can
Like,
you can judge your own. You definitely know it. You definitely know it better than me.
I do. I harshly judge. That's the thing that I feel like a lot of people don't understand when it comes to community. And that's why the love letter that I was uploaded and why I am actually laughing about it is because you were saying, I've spent my whole day looking for the drone. And then you said something like, and then nobody want to watch it anyways. And then you're laughing about it. And I think that's very, very important. It's like even with me, like I feel like if you can laugh at yourself, everything is gonna be fine. Because, like with me, like the love
Yeah.
letter I did, I am proud of that because I pour my heart out that on that video. And I know for a fact that it's going to be hard to have 100 views on that because my upload videos doesn't go. Like, if I
Yeah,
got
we
50
don't.
views, that's a good day. But
Mm,
the thing is, I don't really give a shit about it because I know I
Mm.
put something out there. If someone sees it,
way to
then my
say it.
job is done. If someone appreciates it, my job is done.
That's exactly right. You know, that's what I'm saying, Adrian. If you keep putting content out, then over time, if you're putting out good content, you know, people will eventually get to it. You know, it all takes time.
But basically, those are the things that I've noticed, and I feel like I could do something. But after a while, rather than like I did had a group of support when it comes to Filipino streaming, but the expectations of me wanting to be sharing this fitness, it's not reciprocated as much. And
Yep,
in a
yep.
sense, I feel like okay, then I don't belong here. And then I started to get English speakers, and they're more like reciprocating of what I do. So basically, rather than insisting myself on one thing, I thought to myself, Filipinos do speak English. They can
Yeah.
understand. And
Yes.
what's the best way to do when it comes to, because I did do one-on-one as well, and I did loved it. So I kind of like melch it on together. And I think just speaking English makes it more accessible to everyone.
I think you've got to be, if you really want a big audience, you've pretty much got to be English. I think because
Yeah.
it just such, you know, there's so much of the world speaks English. Whereas, you know, like if you're just going to do Tagalog or Bisaya or something like that, there's only like a small portion, you know.
Yeah, and you can't go there. You can't go on the panel because there's no use because they're not speaking English and
Yeah,
just sitting
like
there
any other, you
listening.
know.
Yes,
But the thing is,
yes,
fellow
yes.
Filipinos, you can speak Tagalog. It's my pleasure to translate if you want. I just really
Mhm.
want you to practice English. Because another thing, I don't know if you know, guys, especially the English speakers that would watch this as well. Filipinos do have this. I'm gonna bash my own people. They have this thing. Press one if you're with me, Filipino, mga Pinay dyan. There's this thing that in the Philippines, when you speak English,
Yeah, yeah.
they judge you harshly.
Like, why are you speaking English?
They would judge the person who speaks English. Like,
Oh, because you're so snobby. You're so pretentious.
when the person just wants to practice English. And the thing, I do get it. I do get it. Like, if I'm
Yeah.
talking to a Filipina, you will, like, even when Filipina come into my stream and I started speaking to them in English, but I know they're Filipina, I feel weird about it. Like, because it's weird that I talk to you. We can both speak Tagalog. Why do we speak Tagalog, right? But at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time, I know now that I don't have to feel that way because this is what I kind of wanted in my channel. And I want my Filipino people to speak English more, to practice here without
Yeah.
judgment.
It can, for me, I don't mind if it's half and half. You can speak in Bisaya, Tagalog, any language. They can do whatever they like, but they've got to have English as well. It's got to be.
I don't mind if anyone
Yeah,
here talks Tagalog, but the thing is, I don't understand Tagalog, so I won't do it.
No.
Yes. Everyone is shy until we
Yeah.
met.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Well, it probably doesn't take me long to get used to someone on a live stream pretty quick, but that's how we all get a bit like, do we want to go there? Do I want to be here? Do I want to sin or dance or go crazy or Are you ready,
No.
guys?
I mean,
Woo! Here we go. I'll turn this up. Here we go. Woo! Hiya, Bobby. Hi, Ken. Do you want to go for a ride? Sure, Ken. Jump in. Bobby, let's go party. Come on, Bobby. Let's go party. I'm a Bobby girl in the Bobby world. Liking plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair. I'm dressed for everywhere. Yeah, that's me. To be on the spot, I always say no, but if you want me to sing, I just do it. Don't worry. Have I ever been
Because
sure?
he's not shy. He loves it. He's so good.
You really entertained us. That was great.